Hi guys, Russ here from Wilson Land and Cattle Company. We're working on a solar piston pump that we can take to our lease property, pump water for our livestock versus hauling it. We haul anywhere from 700 to 1,000 gallons of water a day down there whenever the livestock are there. So we're trying to build a solar piston pump that we can take water from a running stream and pump it to them. As you've seen in the previous video, we got our solar trailer done for our solar panels. And now we're working on the pump part. And the reason that we have the solar panels separated from the pump is I can't get enough lift with setting the pump out into the field. So I have to take the pump partway down into a wooded area where there's no sunshine. So set the solar panels in the field and then put the pump down in the woods in order to be able to pump the water. As you've seen in the previous video, we built a trailer. And that's what we're doing here. This trailer here is not as large as the other one because it doesn't need to be. And we have our inexpensive mobile home trailer axle. Paid 25 bucks for it. We cut this section here out of right there and made the axle a little narrower so it fit the trailer properly. And we'll weld that up. And then we already have the basic frame for the trailer cut. I need to put some cross sections in there yet, and we need to get this welded together. It's just laying out. I didn't even square it up. Here's the piston pump. We're going to pull the gasoline motor off, put a solar motor on it, and this is pretty much how it's going to sit in the trailer, except for it's going to be turned 180 degrees so I can actually work on the pump if I need to. It's going to be a pressurized system. We have a pressure tank there, and then I have a small pressure tank at the head of the piston pump, because the piston pump, it slams the water, and I'm hoping that this here reduces some of that slamming action, which I think it will. And then on the back of the trailer, we need some way of storing or hauling our piping. So I'm going to build two reels, one for the water coming out of the pressure tank. That's going to be 3/4 inch black poly pipe. We're going to have approximately, in total, we'll probably have around 800 feet on that, maybe up to 1,000 including the garden hoses. And then on the other side, we're going to have 400 feet of 1¼ inch black poly pipe. So we'll be building reels from the back of this trailer. Naturally, our pump and our tank is going to sit up in this location. And then we're going to build walls around it and put a roof on top of it. Doesn't get hurt by any of the elements. Okay, we got the trailer all welded up. I put a hitch on the back for the other trailer, the solar panel trailer, to hook, so I can only have to make one trip at a time. I need to put a decking down on where the pump and the pressure tank and stuff's going to sit. So I got to looking. I didn't have any 2x4s or 2x6s to make decent decking with. I ran over to a local sawmill that does softwood rough cut and picked up 4 2x6x10s and 2 2x4x10s. It cost me 32 bucks. So if you have any projects that you're working on and the lumber doesn't need to be graded to meet code or anything like that, if you have any local sawmills, go check them out. You're not paying $9 and $10 for a darn 2x4 stud. We got the deck on our trailer, and that's where the pump, the batteries, pressure tank's going to go. Now back here, I'm going to be building hose reels or pipe reels, and we'll hook them on the back of the trailer here. Let's get this lifted. I'm going to use my homemade crane. It's a gantry crane. we want it facing like that. So we need to be able to get to this front to pull this end off to get to our leather cups. I'm going to be putting a door and a service door in the front and a service door on this side. That way, and maybe one on the other side, so I can get in to work on this thing if it need to. This here goes on the pump, or on our motor. I don't think it's the right size shaft. It doesn't look right. Nope. 1/2 inch bore. I ordered a 5/8. People can't figure anything out. We got our pump in place and we have it screwed down. This here is a water drain line. This gland nut, that's supposed to drip every time the shaft goes back and forth. It's supposed to put one drip down. So we have to flow the water out of the pump house, I guess you could call it. And then we got our motor mounted. The mount on the motor itself wasn't quite wide enough, so I had to build a plate for it. And then we got everything plumbed in as far as I can go for right now. You can see the homemade clamps that I use. I'll put a link above to that video. That's my most popular video. It comes around, clamp down onto the deck here, and then we have a check valve. Then it comes into the T-brass valve back to the pressure tank, and then we have our pressure switch. It's 40 to 60, 40 60, 60 off, 40 on. Pressure gauge, pressure relief valve comes out on this end. Here's where we'll hook our black 3/4 inch black poly pipe onto. Hey guys, hey Tessie, well honey, what? Hey Paige, why? You girls are so fun. That's a good girl. That's a good girl, Paige. I know it's time to go do cows, isn't it? And then this here pipe here goes to an upright pipe. This here's for priming the pipe. We can just dump water into here. And then we hook on our suction lines right here, and we have a union, and we'll hook on to it. I have my uprights. We're gonna enclose it. I don't have my batteries yet. I had to order them yesterday. I have uprights on it, and then I'm going to enclose it in tin somehow. I'm not sure if I'm going to put hinges on it or if I'm just going to make it so the panels slide in and out. I want to be able to get into this thing to work on it. That's pretty important as far as I'm concerned. The back part will be enclosed permanently, and our battery bank is going to sit right here. And I'm not sure quite sure where we're going to put our solar controller, our solar panel controller yet. It's going to be in this mess somewhere. And it actually isn't a mess. It actually turned out pretty nice. I'll show you how I cut tin. Cutting tin lengthwise with a pair of tin snips is very difficult, especially when it's rigid tin like this. So I'll show you how I do it. Might not necessarily be the best way to do it, but it's how I do it. So you do have to be careful. You can cut yourself pretty easily. Just take a utility knife and score it. Needs to be sharp. And if it isn't sharp, if you bust a tip off like I just did there, just take your tin snips, cut the end off, you get a nice fresh point. Should be enough. Like that. Got everything set in there the way we want it. We're still waiting on our batteries. So I got a roof. I put the tin on the roof and I put the tin on the back. And what I need to do here so I can get in here to work on this thing, I'm going to put removable panel here, make this solid, put a swing door here so I can get in here to check pressures and make sure the belt and everything's okay. And then this here will be solid. And then we'll have another door here that slides out. We still don't have our batteries yet, but we got it enclosed. Put nice latches on it, nice door handle. And we're going to mount our solar control panel right here, so everything we have access to all the controls right here. And then I built panels that slide out on both sides, so I have full access into the pump. This here's water out. Here's water in. That's our suction line. And then this here's to prime it. Here's the other panel. And then I did a video on the latches here. I'm building the latches. Pretty easy build. I like those latches. See, I have this section on the back part of the trailer that I haven't done nothing with yet. And what this is going to be for is I'm going to build pipe reels so I can reel my pipe up whenever I'm done. I can just reel it up and go with the whole trailer at one time. So, and then as I mentioned before, that's the ball for the solar trailer. And we'll call this a video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, and comment. And we'll have a link to our merchandise store in the description below. Okay guys, enjoy your day. Have a good one.